Hello and welcome to this AWS Restart Security modules. So in this module, I just wish to demonstrate about lab number 80, that is hardening servers and workstations. Okay, so this is the lab. I just want to start the lab, okay, and then I can explain about some of the important features on this one. So even though this lab is a little bit not very much at an elementary level, I say that if you practice once or twice, you will understand about how to harden the servers. So hardening basically means that to provide extra safety and security to your infrastructure. So to several infrastructure services, yes, the company's growth is focused towards the IT. This is the scenario. However, there is a concern that these online systems might be vulnerable to attacks. So please do understand, vulnerability is nothing but weakness, especially knowing the internet is secure form which many threats originate. So the objective is to secure the internet accessible resources. Yes, we need to do that. In this lab, you will perform several steps to achieve this system hardening on key roles. So such of the web server and FTP server. We will be doing a hardening of web server, FTP server, and of course some of the network services also. However, you also focus on securing the workstations as these systems are heavily used. So we will learn about this. Mostly we will be using this Windows 10 and of course using this RDP client. So let us wait till the launch of your servers are ready. Okay. So again I mentioned this is a little bit higher skill lab. Please do this lab once at least. Maybe it requires an elevated knowledge for you. Okay, so just wait till the infrastructure is ready. So my lab is green now. Okay, so the first task in this exercise is securing a web server. So how to connect to this automatically? This opens my RDP client. You can say cancel, and you can use this Remina toolbar. Okay, just enter your password as Vocarium, VOCAREUM. Okay, so I gave capitals, I think. VOCAREUM. Yeah, so it is now waiting for the RDP. Okay, so now let me also get my details here. You can see this one, press the details, copy all these details in your notepad. This will be helpful. Just say copy, right, in my notepad. And now what I need is I need to go into this web server of Windows 10. Windows 10. Okay, right. So I just close this one. You can see the tasks which are there, right? So go to so first is that login to web server. So this is my web server, typically an Windows server itself. I'll just copy this particular IP, yeah, and provide my RDP. Just press enter. Okay, your username is administrator and your password is cybersec. Yeah, you should be able to connect to your RDP server. So and make it full screen. This is your toggle full screen mode. You will see in full screen and say okay. So you are into the web server. Okay, you see this one, web server. Now start our lab. So this is your start menu. Go to control panel and select this system security applet. Okay. So how do you go? You can go to control panel. Just say start and say control panel. Go to control panel. So this requires a little bit of carefulness. Okay. So please do accordingly. Yeah. You see this system and security applet. Yeah, this is system and security applet. Just go to 2.4, that is administrative tools. Go to your IAS manager. Go to your administrative tools. Yeah, here select this and select your IAS manager. Yeah, here double click that. So we will try to do the hardening of your IAS manager first. So here when you scroll down, you see this is the start page. Click this application pools under the server name. So you can see this one under your server name. Just click that, double click. you should see this application pools. Okay, there is already a default application pool. We will try to create a new pool. Okay, we will try to add a new pool called named as application pool secure and say okay. So how do you add? So you can say add application pool and say new pool, application secure pool. Yes, this is the one, and click OK. So what is the, so we are going to create a new pool and say OK. So you should see one more new element added here, right? So now right click the application pool and select advanced settings, application pool secure, and say advanced settings. So we are trying to change some parameters and associate this particular one. So just understand this location, locate this identity setting. Note that the account configured to run this application pool is called as application pool identity. This is an account that has limited permissions over the system. You can see that these are having the limited permissions. So just see this particular one under identity. So this is your identity. Where is that? Just scroll down, you can see this one, this identity, application pool identity. This has a very limited resources action. Okay, under this particular one, yeah, you can see this is false, load user profile as false, right? Exactly same to same. Scroll down, which account should never be used for service accounts? So if you ask me, administrator accounts should not be used. Okay, service accounts, only user accounts. Explore other options in the advanced settings and say okay when you are finished. Okay, so you can see the other options. Scroll down, you can see process orphaning. You have many other options. Just go through all this. Even recycling is there. Just say once you are done, say okay. So this is done, right? So now next is that this is 2.14. Click this advanced settings. Click OK when you are finished. Yes, we have done that. Just say OK. Yeah, we have done this particular one, right? And in the connections, expand the sites. Okay, in the connections, just expand the sites. Yeah, this one, sites. So just select once you select that, once you go into the sites, click the default website, and in the actions pane, go to advanced settings. Yeah, you can select this default website, and you can go to under actions. You can select this one, advanced settings. You can view this advanced settings. Just click that. Okay, you can notice that the application pool value, your default website currently uses the default application pool. So what we will do, we will need to configure this website to use this application pool secure. Click that default application pool, and what you can do is that you can change this one to a different value, which is called as the one which you have created to application pool secure, and say okay, now this becomes the default one. This becomes the default one. So that is what which is demonstrated here. Yeah, pull down. Yes, we have done all the changes. Close the IAS Explorer. Yeah, this is almost, we have done this particular one. All right. So what you can do, just say file and say exit. So the first part is done. The first part, that is 2.21, is done. You have, what we have done, we have configured custom application pool and assigned this current website to it, the new website to it. Yeah. So now this is 3. Now we will close this NetBIOS settings, shares, etc. On the control panel, go to network and internet. So yes, I'm closing this particular one. Go to the next one, select this control panel and go to network and internet. So we are going to learn the second one of hardening this particular one. So go to network and sharing center. Okay. What we are going to do, click this adapter settings. So network and sharing center, yes, this is the one. Yeah. So here what I am going to do, change advanced, this is network we are going to do. Under this, you what you can do is this right click here and say properties of this Ethernet. So here we are basically moving to harden this network parameters. So click this IPv4 and say properties. Okay. So here this is your properties. I'll just show you. Go to advanced and go to this what we call as yeah advanced. Okay, select this WinS. So this is how it looks like. And what you can do is that you can disable this net BIOS over TCP/IP. So disabling this one, what happens is that will shut down the net BIOS protocol. Okay, so net BIOS is not required for a web server, and is in fact what is that? And it is not needed also. It is a potential vulnerability. So here we say okay, and next is that again one more time okay. Client for Microsoft Networks. What I am going to do is that I am going to disable this. Client for networks, Microsoft Network. This will disable what is the Windows shares, okay, which is not critical to for us requirement. So now what we will do, we will also deselect this file and print sharing, this one, okay, let's deselect this one. So what happens is that this allow will basically will yeah, I can just tell you by doing that. Yeah, this allows from a file server which is certainly not required for the server. This is also one of the parameter where we can make use for to harden the network service. Just say close. Yeah, this is done. So we have learned about web server hardening. We also learned about network hardening. Now we are going to learn about how to secure web server. This next step is securing a web server is to ensure that the file server service is turned down. So we will learn about how we can secure the services. Go to the start menu, run services.msc. So here I just close this particular one. Network is done. So go to your services menu. Either you can go to what we call as control panel and go to services menu also. Yeah, you can go in many ways. Just go to administrative tools. There is a services. You can see here this is services. Go to services. Just click that, double click, the services should start. Yeah, so I'll just maximize this particular one. So under services, just try to explore a service called a server. The name of the service alphabetically it is organized. Just go down and say server. Okay, this is the one. So just select this particular one. So make it what you can say this stop the server first. Okay, stop this server. You can click this particular one. This is a running one. It's automatic also. Just stop this one. So the server is now stopped. And also what you can do, you can also disable the startup from automatic. Okay, you can say that and say disable. So this will stop the server service to start during the startup of the server and say apply and say apply and say okay. So this startup is also disabled now. So this ends our I think services what we call as hardening also. This 4.9 is also complete. The fifth one, in this we will learn about the behavior of some of the group policies. Group policies is nothing but permissions. So what I do, just run this particular one to gpedit.msc. So this is the one gpedit.msc. I close this particular one. No more required. So here I close this. All these things are not required. So go to start, and say run this particular one. Okay, start typing gpedit.msc. Okay, this will open a screen called as group policy editor like this. So yeah, this is there. Yes, similar to this particular one. So under this, just what you need to do, administrative templates, network, and select your SSL settings. So here just maximize, go to administrative templates. Okay, under network, just say this SSL settings, SSL configuration settings. Yeah, so this is your configuration settings. You see this Cypress suite is there, right? So here just scroll down. Okay, so right click to the local, double click the order. Okay, here this particular one, double click. Yeah, this is open now. So what do you do now? Click enabled radio button. Just scroll down. Yeah, enabled. Yes, this is done. So enable radio button, the default cipher suits. Notice that some default values are displayed. You might have noticed this is the cipher values which has been noticed here. Yeah. And now what you can do, yeah. So now you can copy and paste the string, okay, to the ciphers which are used. If you scroll down to the bottom of the help, okay, click the file explorer and select the desktop and double click the ciphers. Okay, so here we did that. We click file explorer icon and yeah, window. Yes, this is the one cipher status which is there. Just copy. You can copy and analyze in your notepad also. The same thing which has been, the ciphers has been copied. So select the text of the ciphers field and yeah, you can just say OK to that. The policy determines the ciphers which is used. Same thing here, the policy determines the ciphers which is being used. You can, what you can do, you can even open through the notepad and see what are all the contents which are there. So yeah, I just open this notepad and just show you what exactly this means is. So I can always say word wrap. Yeah, these are all various ciphers which are there. You see this one? This is nothing but some cryptography. So now it is a bit more secure. So this is just a demonstration. Okay, once this is done, click OK. Maybe OK, the group policy editor, and of course the notepad also. All right, apply and say OK. So now this group policy also has been configured successfully. This ends our exercise 1. So now let us understand about how to secure our FTP server. So I'll just close this particular one, SSL policy. This is group policy editor. I close this one. Yeah, in exercise 2, what you can do, learn is that, see, this again, I'm telling you, this is only for practice. If you do once carefully, that's okay. This is how the people do hardening. Of course, you need not by heart any of these exercise components. Just make a practice. Normal day-to-day work also for hardening. Yes, you can go through the, organizational policies which we need. Based on that only, we secure the servers. So this is exercise 2. So go back to your web server. I am into the web server. Yes, you can enable the following things. So go to the web server computer. Yes, start. Go to control panel and you can see this particular one. Click your system applet and then click your administrative tools and your IAS manager once again. So here what I do, went to the IAS manager also. I can just type IAS. So this is the Internet Service Manager. Rather than going in through the control panel also is okay, or directly by typing this one. So go to sites and go to corporate FTP. Go to sites, web server and say sites. So here you see this one corporate FTP, right? I've selected that. So these are the icons which is displayed. Under SSL certificate, ensure that this is corporate FTP cybersec locally selected. So how do I do that? Go to my SSL certificate. Where is my SSL certificate? Yeah, go to FTP settings. So double click this FTP settings. Yes, this is done. Okay, ensure that corporate FTP cybersec local. Yes, this is there. That is what he's ensuring is selected. Under SSL policy, require SSL connections use 128 encryption for SSL. Yeah, use this 128 bit. So we are making a bit more hardening into this one and say apply. So this completes your hardening of your web server FTP, right? This is done. So in my second one, what I do is that click this corporate FTP, this 2.1. So here we will understand to disable this anonymous authentication, means that any user without username or password are not supposed to enter. We are going to do that. Click this corporate FTP site in the connections pane. Okay, this one. So double click that. Yes. So double click your FTP authentication. FTP authentication. Yes, this is the one. Right. Anonymous authentication. Double click. This is enabled. We need to disable that. Yeah. How to do that? Just disable this one. Yeah. Now this is disabled. You see this one? Disable that. And select basic authentication and enable. So this is basic authentication. We need to enable. Right. This is enabled now. So this should allow authorization rules specified users. Okay. So on the allow, okay, add. We also need to go through what we call as FTP authorization. So then, how the users are? We are going through the basic authentication. So add allow rule. Okay, in the actions pane. Okay. So okay, what I do, I double click this particular one, and FTP authorization rules, I say add allow rule. Okay, add allow rule, and on this particular one, not all users, specified. Okay, I'll say that specified users, specified roles or users. Okay, select this particular specified users, and of course I'll type this one of the user which I know is administrator. Okay, and then maybe I can say give permissions as read as both, right, both. Okay, yeah, and say permissions read, write, and say okay. This has been done. So you see this one, the same thing which we have done now till now. Yeah, permissions okay. So this completes. Okay, the in IIS manager, click for FTP user isolation. We need to do that. Corporate FTP. You can select this. Okay, click this user FTP isolation, and select the username directory, and of course you can what we call this, yeah, the changes has been saved successfully. So apply. Yeah, I think this we have hardened this particular one. Apply. Close all the open windows. This completes our lab exercise of 2. Even we have hardened the web server now. Okay, so now let us go close this particular one, and then go back to your securing a Windows workstation. This exercise number 3. So just log out from this workstation. Maybe you can say disconnect. Just say Windows and say maybe sign out. Yeah, you have come out. Now my next exercise is securing the workstation. So my workstation is nothing but Windows 10. So here this is my IP 172.31.13.61. Same procedure of logging in. Go back to your webcam and say Control B. All right, press enter. So okay, just log in using your cybersec as username and cybersec as password also. Okay, you are maximizing. Okay, this is our Windows 10 system workstation. Okay, so now let us try to harden this particular one, securing a station workstation. Go to Windows 10 and go to control panel, go to system security, and then open your Windows firewall. Okay, whether you check, please check this firewall is opened or not. So how do I go? Go back to your control panel, right? So system and security, and you select this firewall. Yeah, this is switched off now, firewall. So now what we need to do, we can enable this firewall. So turn firewall on or off. You can see this icon, just say, and switch on the firewall. Turn on this firewall, turn on this firewall, and say this is the same image which is shown here, on and on, and say apply. Okay to apply. Yeah, this enables firewall should always be switched on. Okay to apply. So now also in Windows firewall, allow an app or feature through your Windows firewall. So you see this one, allow. this feature through this firewall. Select this option. Okay, under this you can, okay, there are some options which we need to where we can please go through this one, private and public options which are there for the administrator's work. Okay, so basically we are not changing it. The firewall usually turns off in administrative. However, it is possible to allow an application through a firewall and make an exception to keep the security while allowing the administrative tools to work. So here you can just go through whichever option is not applicable. You can untick and just say enable or disable accordingly. So cancel, we are not doing anything. So this completes your firewall protection on this particular server. Okay, just say cancel, right? I have only just updated the basic firewall on. Okay, close this particular one, right? So the second one is that advanced users can turn on your ICMP to operate. Go to your control panel and administrative tools, okay, especially the administrative tools, system and security. Yeah, Windows firewall with advanced security. Let us do that. So go to your control panel. Okay, in your control panel, you see this one, system and security, administrative tools. Right, in advanced administrative tools, you see this menu. Click this Windows firewall with advanced security. Yeah, this particular one, advanced security. So let the things load. So meanwhile, what you can see, click this firewall properties under overview. So this is your advanced firewall properties. You can see this is overview. Yeah, which all inbound rules, outbound rules. You can even create also rules as needed. Okay, import policies, etc., etc. Also. So yeah, we have just explored. Okay, to close this only, just notice all these things which with various kind of profiles. You can click inbound rules in the left hand pane, and we will create a new rule and say custom all programs and also protocol with ICMP. Okay, we are going to create a new rule. Just click this particular one, inbound, maybe new rule. We'll create a rule. So what is that which we are going to all programs, and click say next. Yeah, click next. See this one, all program, and say next. So allow or deny. So you can say all programs and select it. You can select this what we call as ICMP 4, and then you can say customize. Maybe you can say public or private and say next, and then finally, okay, you can say allow, and maybe, yeah, you can see even which program also here, all programs or a specific program also you can specify, and then you say next and give a name to the rule and give a name field. You say allow ICMP 4, okay, and say finish. In this way, you can create and allow a rule on this particular inbound rules. So yeah, depending on your organizational needs, yes, you can create your own rules. Finally, we will also learn about how you can create your GP, group policy editor, in this particular activity also. Here we are not creating anything. We will just explore the policies of how these things are. This we can close this particular one and just run this group policy editor. So how do I do that? Group policy editor, just run this particular one. Maybe you can say GP edit, yeah, edit group policy editor. So this should load. Yeah, this is your local group policy editor. And what we do, okay, GP edit MSC, expand the security settings, local policies, administrative tools, your security, where is that? Computer configuration, Windows settings, yeah, Windows settings, that security settings, yeah. So under security settings, you can see local policies and select security policies. Security, options. You have several policies here. You have several policies, security options. So what he means to say, select one of the policy which is called as network access. Do not allow anonymous enumeration of SAM accounts. So here under network, scroll down, the network, you can select do not allow, alphabetically it should be there. Network do not allow anonymous enumeration. So this should be the first one, you can see, of SAM accounts and shares. Yeah, this particular one. So this is enabled. So yeah, note that the policy, no shares which are there. The second one which is there. Okay. Yeah, this one. So just select that and enable this policy. To enable this policy, yeah, you can select this enabled, and then you can click to confirm. So you see this screen like this. So in local group, so finally we have managed off how you can network security has been done. Finally this network security has been done. So this is about this policy. In this way you can do the other thing. In this way we have completed more or less all the policies which are really required in the server, in the web server, as well as in your workstation also. Okay, so you can even go through these questions also. You can see the answers for all these things. You can see what could the users do on the network system before hardening. Before hardening, it is easier to acquire, but once it is hardened, yeah, you can reduce the risk associated with the computer. Okay, so what can the users do on your network and system after hardening? So the system only authorized corporate security policies such as accessing the shares and running secure programs. So we did that. Okay, potential malicious activities will likely to fail. So here, which feature are you most concerned with the environment? So here, generally, it is yeah. This is the answer. How does hardening a server differ from hardening a workstation? So yeah, please go through the answers. So once you complete this lab, what you can do is that you can end your lab. Okay, so that all resources will be terminated. Okay, that ends the lab. Okay, please once again I repeat, this is somewhat which requires some elevated knowledge of understanding about the server, but seriously in the industry also we generally use this as a template and then we manage according to our requirements. Thank you everyone and bye.